Hello. In this follow-up episode, I would like to focus on setting up social login with Google. Now, at the moment, I'm logged into the Google Cloud platform and I have a few projects. I'm going to actually create a new project. So I'm going to create a project. I will name it, let's say, Super Rails, and create the project. Now you see right away, I wasn't redirected to the project. I'm still in the process of creating the project, and then I'll be able to open it. So now I go to this project, I open Super Rails, and here I need to basically get my API keys for social login. So I'm going to go to API overview, and I'm going to go to credentials, and I want to create a credential. It's going to be an oAuth client ID. And you see, I cannot do it right away. I need to first configure a consent screen. So let's do this. Now, if internal, it will be only users with a specific domain. It's going to be external so that any user with a Gmail can log in. So we create. Now the app name, let's say it's Super Rails. User support email will be your Gmail. App logo, you can add any logo. Application homepage will be your production URL. For me, it's going to be this Heroku URL. Application privacy policy, if you have one, same with terms of service and authorized domains. So we're going to add the production domain in authorized domains. And again, developer contact information will be your email address. And we save and continue. Okay, no white space, save and continue. And now we can add scopes, so kinds of data that we will want to receive from users. Now you can add and remove some scopes, but in fact, we can actually go without any of these scopes to just add social login. So we're going to save and continue. We don't need to add any test users. We save and continue and go back to dashboard. Okay, now we're going to press publish app. And it says also needs verification. So we can prepare the application for verification. It's basically a real person on the Google side is going to have a look at your application, see that it is legit, and make it public and say that there are no security threats. But you can always do it later. So let's say we will go through this process. We will save and continue. Then optional info, you can say how you're going to use the application so that it is easier for the people to review your application and see that it is legit. So in the end, when you're working in an application in production, you will want to actually verify your Google social login application. But we're not going to finish this project right now. Anyway, we can press save and continue and submit for verification. Now, if the application is already verified, or if it is not, doesn't really matter, we can already create credentials because we have previously configured a basic oAuth content screen. Let's try to create credentials. We'll go to oAuth client ID. Application type will be web application. The name will be Super Rails, or any name you give. Authorized JavaScript origins will be your production and your development URLs. So my production URL, then my development URL, and the same, but with our callback URLs. So superrails heroku app.com/users/auth/google oAuth2/callback, and the same with our development URL and the same ending of the callback. Okay, and now we create. And here are our client ID and client secret. Let's copy them and see if it works. I'm going to copy them into the end of variables. So here I'm going to put in the Google ID, and I'm going to get the client secret and paste it here. And And I'm going to restart the development server and see if it works. In the meantime, I'll press OK. And I will try to log in with Google. Okay, I press sign in with Google oAuth 2. And I get this authorization error. Now the callback does not match one of the authorized ones. Let's see. I will copy the callback and go back to the application settings. Maybe I made a typo somewhere. So it is users auth Google auth 2 callback. Yeah, looks like it's correct. Let's try once again. I'll go back and sign in with Google. And yeah, it works. Maybe I just made a typo somewhere. So I'm going to log in. And you see it works. And now we're going to do the same in our production environment. Basically, we just need to copy the credentials to production. So here we have Google ID and Google Secret, and we will copy them to the config variables of our application inside the settings tab. So we're going to add the Google ID. It's going to be this one. And the Google Secret. It's going to be this one. We press add, and again, Heroku will need a few seconds to reboot our application each time when we change config variables. And we'll be able to see if it works in production. And you see the great thing about social login with Google, you can create just one oAuth application and add multiple URLs and multiple callback URLs. You don't have to create multiple oAuth applications as you do in GitHub. So, okay, I'm going to go to sign in with Google oAuth 2. Take in my account. And you see it works. And just to test, I will also sign in with another account. Let's say this one. So it works. And this is basically how you configure all the steps of oAuth screen and credentials in the Google Cloud Platform. And just going back to our credentials and oAuth consent screen, let's say we will want to submit our consent screen so that we don't have this exclamation mark. We're going back to these settings. We have this prepare for verification. So save and continue, save and continue. Once again, and again, here is the final review, and we just submit for verification. And that's it. So thank you.